The most news in the morning. CNN's American Morning. Weekday, 6 a.m. Eastern.
Here to explain his point of view and also how it's going over with parents and students is the school's principal, Anthony Orsini. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Sure.
Well, we've done a lot of stories, of course, about bullying, cyberbullying, and worst-case scenarios when kids are really attacked online and in some of the worst situations take their own lives because of it. What was behind your decision to send this call out to parents to say, your kids don't need to be on Facebook, let's take a stand?
I'm really surprised by the attention from it because I send things to my parents all the time, and essentially there wasn't anything specific. It's just that younger and younger students and kids are trying to be on social networking sites. Even Facebook puts the age at 13. I just disagree a little bit about by a year or two of when it's appropriate for a middle school age student to be on there, because we're just finding, and it's also new. We're just finding that kids aren't emotionally ready to deal with things that are said about them on a site.
Right, and I mean, it's just easier when you're posting things and you don't have to talk to a person face to face to say things that sometimes come off as cruel. One of the interesting things that I noted in some of your notes here is that you say that your guidance counselor, 75% of one counselor's day is spent dealing with social networking site issues. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's not even necessarily bullying things, and those are the extreme cases that we want to really prevent our students from having to deal with. But what happens is it consumes their lives. So two friends might get in a little tiff with one another. Frank and John might even, it could be boys, get in a tiff with each other and say something about each other, and then 30 people comment about it. I mean, people are commenting about this, which is really a non-story, but this issue, across the country, which I find amazing. What happens is when you're 13 or 14 or a middle school age kid, you just can't handle it. It stays with you forever, and it kind of consumes everything about their lives at this age.
And I think that a lot of parents, the reason that it has gotten a lot of attention is because a lot of parents are saying, I don't really know what to do. I mean, this is new territory. This is uncharted territory for a lot of us. I know my nieces are on these websites as well, and they're not 13. Anyway, I want to ask you what the reaction's been from the parents.
Okay.
What's it been like?
Directly to me, the parents have been, very, very supportive of it. And even the parents who are like, we've had great conversations at home about this, we've talked about it, and some of us are still deciding to allow them to do it. And that's basically what I say. I'm just imploring them and giving them, the opinion of their community and an educator in their community of what we see, that, we know that they're good parents. All of our parents are excellent parents,
right.
But they can't control what someone else goes on and puts on there. I mean, there's this new site that's unbelievably cruel, this Formspring, that has kind of partly pushed me to write the letter in the strong
Formspring is a
words
site
that I
that
ended
you
up
say,
using.
you say that somebody can go on the site, post a question, and then people comment on it, and that's in some cases led to some cruelty.
Anonymously.
Right, you don't. Yeah, exactly. You don't. It's
sort of
like it's sort of like the writing on the bathroom wall, but compounded because so many people can get access to it. This is interesting though, because while you said the parents have been supportive, some of your seventh graders told our CNN affiliate, "quote He's the principal of the school. It's none of his business what we do after the school." Some students not happy at all that you're saying this and that you're being vocal about it. What do you think about their arguments?
Yeah. Well, I'm a Red Sox fan in the middle of New York Yankee country, so I'm used to the kids, giving me a hard time. They're great with their opinion, and our kids have been articulate in regard to, forming an opinion, and they're talking to their parents, which is great. Some of their reasoning isn't always, it's middle school age reasoning, and they enjoy doing these things. We also have several students who aren't allowed to be on these sites, who are totally well-adjusted, do great in school, and have tons of friends. And so we know that students who aren't on, aren't sending nasty text messages or aren't on the sites and being talked about are just fine.
Gotcha.
And we really want to just protect the kids. And I'm just giving an opinion and an opportunity for parents to be able to say, you know what, maybe this isn't a great idea anymore. Let's wait a little bit until they're older, because social networking sites are here to stay, and they're a great thing.
Right.
Just not for middle school age. They just can't handle it.
All right. Well, Principal Anthony Orsini of Benjamin Franklin Middle School, you guys must be doing something right, because
Sure.
our executive producer, Jamie, also went there when he was a little young guy, and there was no such thing as the internet. Thanks so much.